I'm J.B. Van Hollen, your Wisconsin Attorney General. I'd like to introduce you to a special program here in Wisconsin that gives us a powerful tool to help rescue abducted children. It's called Amber Alert. It's a unique partnership among law enforcement, the media, and citizens who live in our communities. Through the Emergency Alert System, Amber Alert provides a rapid response in the search for an abducted child that will allow an entire region of the state to search for an abducted child in a matter of minutes. This Emergency Child Abduction Alert System has one purpose: to save the life of a child. Keeping our children safe is a top priority for every law enforcement officer and agency. This video, narrated by Bill Curtis, explains how the Amber Alert program works and why it's so vitally important for protecting our children.
She was a very, very loving daughter. And she was very hugging and kissing and very happy. She was a very happy little girl.
Well, she liked to fish and swim, and chum around with her friends. They'd get on inner tubes and float down the Crystal River and float from bridge to bridge.
Loving memories of 12-year-old Cora Jones will always be held by her mom and dad, Vicki and Rick Jones of Waiawega, Wisconsin. That's all they have left after living through every parent's worst nightmare, the abduction and murder of a child. Cora was kidnapped while riding her bicycle near her grandmother's house. Her abductor, David Spanbauer, forced Cora into his vehicle in broad daylight and drove out of the area. He assaulted her, stabbed her, and left her body in a ditch. Spanbauer, a serial killer, had other victims in Wisconsin. He abducted and murdered 10-year-old Ronell Eichstadt of Ripon in a similar manner.
This is a case where this child was abducted May 31st, 2002.
Law enforcement officials know that if a child is abducted by a stranger, they must react immediately. Appleton Police Lieutenant John DeLong.
Statistics show that 44% of the children who are abducted and murdered are murdered within the first hour, 71% in 3 hours, and 91% in 24 hours.
An abduction similar to that of Cora and Ronell happened in Arlington, Texas in 1996. That crime, unlike the Spanbauer murders, remains unsolved to this day, but it forever changed the way we can fight back. 9-year-old Amber Hagerman was also abducted while riding her bicycle. A neighbor saw what happened and called police immediately. An intense search for Amber began, but 4 days later, her body was found in a drainage ditch. The crime so outraged the community that citizens, police, and the media started joining forces to start the nation's first Amber Alert program. It's now found a home in Wisconsin.
This is Dan Beyer in the 1310 WABA studios. We're interrupting our programming to bring you an Amber Alert. Police are asking for your help in locating a young girl who has just been abducted from Warren.
Perhaps the best way to describe an Amber Alert is to compare it to a severe weather warning. In the case of an Amber Alert, however, the emergency alert system is activated when a child is abducted. His or her life is at risk, and there is enough descriptive information about the crime to give the public.
Watertown 911.
I think there's been an abduction.
Peak 1060 area of Parkview and Boughton. We have a possible abduction call, came in 911. Suspect vehicle is an older van, teal in color with a white stripe on the side.
Hi. I'm not sure, but I think there might have been an abduction. I was out trimming my tree, and the neighbor girl walked by and she said hi to me, and next thing I know, there's her backpack laying on the sidewalk.
Suspect is described. The responding officer must relay information about the abduction to a supervisor. Then the supervisor will decide if the situation warrants an Amber Alert. Special forms are provided for specific information about the child, the suspect, and the vehicle. This review is designed to eliminate the broadcasting of false alarms.
The more we cry wolf and the wolf is not there, people are going to ignore it. We're not going to pay attention to the signs. We're not going to pay attention that this child is missing simply because it's, well, oh man, it's just another one of those things. Nothing's going to come of it. We have to be very specific.
Once the decision has been made to activate an Amber Alert, the reporting agency must contact the Dane County Public Safety Communications Center.
Communications, Kathy.
The 911 center will be the hub for all Amber Alert requests in Wisconsin. This will ensure uniformity and accuracy in getting information to the public.
Okay, we'll try to get this out for you as soon as possible.
After making the initial phone call to Dane County 911, the reporting agency must also follow up that information with an email or a fax. Once all the criteria have been met and approved, the emergency alert system in the communications center will be activated. The Amber Alert will be targeted to one or more of 9 possible regions in the state, wherever the reporting agency believes it will be the most effective.
All right, stand by.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Carlson.
And I'm Charles Benson. We have breaking news at this hour, and it involves an Amber Alert.
That means police are looking for a missing child. Right now, the information we have.
I step back from my role as a journalist, and I think as a father, I'm thinking, great. I'm glad it's finally coming to the state of Wisconsin.
And standing by on the floor.
During programming, let's say we have a soap opera on or something like that, there will be a crawl, what we call a crawl in the TV business at the bottom of the screen, letting viewers know what happened and what they can be looking for.
Boy, this is an Amber Alert.
And I think in most cases, especially in missing children cases, law enforcement and TV and the media in general work well together to get this information because we're all working with the same understanding. A child is missing. A parent is very concerned. What can we do to help? The information provided
when stations broadcast Amber Alerts, thousands of citizens become potential witnesses. A kidnapper will no longer feel safe if he gets his victim out of the area, never knowing if the person in the car next to him is about to call the police.
For instance, in the city of Appleton, there's 103 sets of eyes for the officers who are looking for that child. Put that Amber Alert out, and now we have 70,000 sets of eyes looking for that child. And I don't believe that an abductor can escape 70,000 people looking for him.
The radio reaches out to everyone immediately. If there's an abduction somewhere in a certain part of the town, county, whatever it may be, if a person is listening to us at that time, that can help out a lot.
Additionally, in the most populated areas of the state, motorists who aren't listening to the radio will see information on highway signs operated by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. These signs are normally used to display routine traffic information. During an Amber Alert, however, they will be programmed to give out similar information provided on radio or television. The Amber Alert program has been a remarkable success when it has been used in other parts of the country. More than 30 abducted children have been rescued as a direct result of Amber Alerts. The program is sweeping the U.S. and Canada, with some 60 plans in place at the state, regional, and local level. In order to make the program successful in Wisconsin, remember to plan ahead. Designate a telephone number that you will give to the media and be prepared to take many calls. And keep in mind the 3 main criteria that must be met before an Amber Alert is activated. 1, the abducted child must be 17 years of age or younger. 2, the abducted child must be in danger of serious bodily harm or death. 3, the initiating law enforcement agency must have enough descriptive information about the child, the suspect, or the suspect's vehicle to believe an immediate broadcast alert will help the child.
Driver of the vehicle, get your hands out of your pockets. Get them on top of your head. We're looking for a little girl. She was last seen getting into your van. You know anything about that?
Nope.
Lydia, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
I'm gonna take you back to your family, okay?
Okay.
Everything's going to be okay.
The Amber Alert program in Wisconsin cannot change what has already happened to child victims in this state. It may very well prevent a tragedy from happening the next time a child is abducted.
Well, you know what's going to happen again. No doubt about it. Just hopefully this time we'll be able to do something about it fast enough to save a child.